guys, welcome back to another studio vlog here at Crafted by Koko. We have a lot in store for this video today, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys another studio vlog of behind the scenes of our small shop here at our house where we run our small stationery budgeting store, Crafted by Koko. And my name's Victoria if you are new here. So we have a lot in store today because we did not work last weekend. We were in Tennessee for 4th of July. We spent the weekend with my in-laws, Brent's family in Tennessee, and we had such a fantastic time. We were in the mountains by a lake and got to enjoy being on the water and out in the sunshine and just take a break from the craziness that is our life. We love what we do here at our shop and with our full-time jobs, but it is so nice to take a little bit of a break and disconnect from everything and just enjoy. And that is exactly what we did. And I'm so thankful that we did that. And we got to spend wonderful time with friends and family. And now we're back in the office and we have a lot to do and a lot to catch up on. So, I went ahead and already prepped a to-do list for all the things that we need to get accomplished today. If you watched the last video with me, you'll see I took you guys through the entire launch process because we just recently had a shop update, and I wanted to share with you guys my entire launch process and what I do and what works for me. And so from that launch, we have orders that we need to fulfill. But before we start fulfilling orders, we need to go ahead and start prepping all the things that we need to have in stock to be able to do so. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is restock our tissue paper that we use for packaging orders. We need to make freebies. I think I have one freebie pack left, so I need to actually make all the freebies, print, laminate, and cut all the freebies. So that needs to be done. And then we offer savings challenges, like a 3-pack savings challenges. I can pop some pictures over here for y'all to see. Those I need to restock everything. There's no customizations to it, those items. So it's easy for me to prep those in advance. And that's what I want to do today. Along with those savings challenges, I also have these little Pearl savings challenges. They're called the Pearl Cove Savings Challenge. I'll pop it up here on the screen. I want to go ahead and get those prepped and have them ready as well. I've already have them printed and laminated. I just need to round the corners and do some finishing touches. So that we need to do. And then I need to go ahead and prep all of our Cricut savings challenges. And I like to do that all at once because I don't want to have bring the Cricut out, take the Cricut out, bring it out, all that stuff. I like to take the Cricut out and have it and set it up and just keep it rolling for however long I need to do that for. Same thing when I turn the laminator on, I like to turn it on and then laminate what I need and kind of move forward. Last but not least is we need to go ahead and laminate the card backings for our paper clips and prep those as well. I might not cut those. Actually, I might have Brent do them and help me out a little bit because all of this is going to take a lot of time and I'm going to need to call on him for a little bit of support. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it and let's start folding up this tissue paper. Okay, one quick tip is I love using this gold shower rod. You can use this for I guess it's for towels and stuff for your shower bathroom. And I wanted a place for my packing tissue. And so I just said, why don't we put this over here? And it is absolutely perfect. I love it so much. And it was extremely inexpensive. I found it on Amazon. I'll have it linked down below in my Amazon storefront. Y'all can check it out there along with some other supplies you see from my shop in this video. I think it's such a great way to use the vertical space and kind of have these things prepped as I go to package orders. I do have 2 different sizes that I like to fold my tissue. You can see on the left, that's like the bigger size, and then I have a smaller size on the right. Let me show you the packing boxes that I use and what we put this tissue in. So if you guys are new here to watching this video, our Crafted by Koko office is in one of our guest rooms upstairs, and we try to put all of our Koko stuff in here and not use other parts of our house, but unfortunately that is not always the case. But this is the closet, the only closet that we have inside this room, and it is jam-packed full of stuff. I'm going to show you the packing boxes that we use, which we put at the top of the shelf. So let me show you. So at the top of our closet here, we have this shelf, and this is where we keep our packing boxes. I typically have these 4 different sizes. Sometimes I'll order, you know, a smaller size, but these are the 4 that seem to be working really well for our shop. And the 2 here on the left are the bigger boxes that I use the bigger folded tissue, and then the 2 here on the right are the smaller ones that use the smaller tissue. So it actually works out really well. And as you can see, if I pan out here, we do not have a lot of room. So as you can see, looking at this closet, it is jam-packed full of stuff. I was able to actually empty this caddy right here and kind of consolidate some of our binders, which was nice. And I have to find a home for that wire, so that is the next project. But I really don't have a lot of space in here to be adding new things. And so it does make it hard to find space, but it is working so far for us. So yeah, those are the boxes that we use for our packaging here. They'll be linked in my Amazon storefront if you're interested in those. But we don't have a lot of space in this closet. It's not a walk-in closet. It's just, you know, a open the doors open and that's what you see type closet. I don't know what you call those. But we do have some huge shipments coming in. I am so excited to tell you guys that we have our next Koko's Doggie Bag shipment coming in very soon. And it's not gonna fit in here. It is not gonna fit. So we might have to use some of the rest of our house. And I'm so excited for this one. I have put so much energy into this one. I'm so excited about it. And I don't wanna be like one of those like people who are like, oh, I can't tell you about it. I can't tell you about what it's gonna be, but I really can't tell you much about it right now. And that's because I wanna give you guys sneak peeks when everything comes in and once we have the full design like laid out. Once I see these products and hold them in my hand and make sure that they all look cohesive together, then I'll be able to add in the designs we've been working on here at our house and kind of put them all together. And then from that point, I'll decide which sneak peeks I'm gonna be showing you guys ahead of time. But I should hopefully have that launching somewhere towards the end of August, early September. So just keep a lookout for that. All the boxes that are coming in for that doggy bag are not gonna fit in this closet. And I don't even think they're gonna fit in this room. So we're probably gonna have to use other areas of our house to hold that supplies along with our Advent box because I have shipments coming in for our Advent box as well. So I'm trying to be ahead of the game and get all my things in ahead of time because Christmas last year was crazy for us, just the 2 of us working on it. Anyway, I was just wanting to stop here and tell you guys that we don't have a lot of room and we have some exciting things coming up and I have nowhere to put things. So soon Crafted by Koko is going to be taking over the rest of our house. And I'm hoping because these are like mystery bundles that, you know, we'll have them ready. And then once they're out, they're out. But it's starting to make me think about how I need to maybe reorganize this room to just hold things better. So we have this day bed over here and we typically have a trundle underneath it, but Kinsley has been loving sleeping underneath here. I'm hoping you can see her down here. Look at her using this as a little pillow, you little angel. She loves sleeping underneath the bed. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to get rid of this because they absolutely love it. It's their place to relax and hang out with us. I want to be able to host people because I love hosting, but it's like I'm running out of space. Like I could easily put another desk over here or more storage. And, you know, I could do something with my Monstera plant, but I love my Monstera and I'm trying to bring it back to life. Like it's alive, but it's just, it needs some more loving. Anyway, storage is always going to be a problem I'm super grateful for this space because it does have a lot of room, and we've really figured out how to use as much of the storage as possible. And we were even thinking about maybe putting something here in the center of the room, like a tabletop that has drawers. So I don't know. I think we're going to be looking at ways that we can like really maximize the space in here before we start expanding or thinking about like building a shed out back or like a craft cottage or whatever. I definitely don't want to move Crafted by Koko to an offsite location or anything like that, because I already have just a few hours every single day to work on Crafted by Koko. So if I were to move it offsite, then there's like travel back and forth and this and that. And so I'd rather keep it here at my house. And then this way I can still, be looking after my little Koko and Kinsley. Anyway, so I don't know, we'll make it work. I don't know why I'm going off on this long tangent about space in this craft room, but hopefully you guys will see as we continue through our journey with this small business, how we expand and use space or change things around, and we'll kind of see how it comes about. But that's what's so much fun about doing these YouTube videos is I can't only imagine what it's going to be like looking at next year looking at this year's videos, like, and remembering, oh my God, I can't believe that's how we did things. Or even like 10, 15 years from now, what it was like, and who knows where we'll be, and I don't know, in our lives and stuff. It'll be fun to have this kind of just as like a historical scrapbook of our business. But anyway, let's get back to the to-do list because I'm going off on a long tangent here, and we are done with the tissue paper. So now we need to move on to the freebies. Okay, so this is normally where I keep my freebies, and I only have one left. That's the one here on the left. These are more of the savings challenge trackers that are prepped, but I just have one left. So I need to print more of all of the different ingredients here, laminate, cut, and all that stuff. But like, as I said earlier, I don't want to just turn the laminator on for just these and then turn it off and then make these over here. So let's go ahead and kind of do like a check on everything that needs to be printed and laminated. Up here is where I keep some of our other savings challenges. So these are our Velcro savings challenges and our pocket pieces challenges. I have a lot that I need to make with this category here. I do keep these up on like the shelf that's floating above the other shelf we were at. And these little containers or organizers I got off of Amazon. They are linked to my storefront. But I used them for the first market that we did here in town, and they were fantastic for paper goods. So I highly suggest them. I repurposed them instead of just setting them aside and breaking them down for markets. I've used them here in my shop, and they've been great to carry things in. And I also love that I can visually see everything rather than them being in pull-out drawers where I have to pull out every single drawer. Anytime I need it, I can just simply come over here and grab. So yeah. Anyway, I've been enjoying those, but there is a lot that we need to make with these here. So I'm going to go ahead and count inventory up for this category as well, because we'll need to print and laminate these materials along with the other savings challenges. If you're not familiar with our Velcro challenges, this is our Pearl Cove Resort and Spa Savings Challenge. And these are little narwhals, and they're little Velcro pieces that you put on this dashboard. And it comes with an envelope and a second envelope that's a little tinier one that you can put all your pieces in. And as you save, you put the little Velcro pieces on the savings challenge. And so I believe right now we have 5 designs with this type of theme. And then we also have our pocket pieces one. Let me show you that. So our little pocket pieces savings challenges, they look like this. They're basically little pieces that we design and use our Cricut to cut out. And you put them in each one of these little pockets when you save up money in your envelope. And so they come all in different themes, and they're super cute and fun, but we use our Cricut to cut these out along with the little Velcro pieces you saw before. That is what we're going to be using our Cricut for today and what I'm counting our inventory up. Also too, our pieces savings challenges, they come with a paper clip. So this one in particular comes with this paper clip here, but each one has its own matching paper clip that comes with it. And that's just for the pieces. The Velcro Savings Challenge does not come with a paper clip, but I have to kind of coordinate with Brent and tell him how many I need of each one. But I want to go ahead and prep the paper goods now, and then I'll let him know how many paper clips he needs of each of these styles so I can include them in the little packs that I'm going to be putting together. So when I put the pieces inside the packs for those pieces savings challenges and the Velcro savings challenges, I typically put them in like this little pack here, and it has this card backing. So I need to make sure that I have one for every single design because they have different colors. So I keep those here in these little, I don't know, what do you call these? Containers on my pegboard. I need to make sure I have enough of each of the design colors in here. So that is something else I'm going to be checking. And then because I'm extra, I also have these stickers that I put on the outside of the package here. So you can see I print and I cut these in-house. And if my little sister Frida was here, this is a task I would give her, but we have a lot of the stickers already prepped in here. I just need to double check that I have enough of each design. So that's just a little extra. Sometimes I forget to do this when I'm laminating, and I'm fine with that because there's just so much to keep track with. So this is kind of like the last thing on my radar, but I thought because I'm filming with y'all today, I should probably go ahead and make sure I have enough. So we're not having to like backtrack and turn the laminator back on to make these. I'm going to also count that up, is why I stopped here to show you that. I just finished up counting all the inventory up, and there's a lot to do. Looking through our orders, a lot of our orders that we have coming up are for the newly released savings challenges. I might just start with making enough of those new items first for the Cricut, and then as we have orders coming in for the previous designs, then I'll focus on those, just because I want to make sure I'm focusing on the right things and not just restocking to restock. One thing about our small business is that everything is handmade to order, obviously minus like things that we have from suppliers or vendors or other manufacturers. And so everything is handmade to order. Obviously, there's going to be some items that aren't customizable, like our savings challenges, and sometimes our planner charms aren't customizable. But I don't want to be making like and spending all my time making 20 or 30 of something that might not sell. We aren't a huge business, so we really have to do things handmade to order. And along with our paper clips are handmade to order as well, because a lot of times you can pick, you know, silver, you can pick gold wire, silver wire, gold paper clip, and different colored beads and stuff like that. So we really just, as an order comes in, you know, it'll go into our queue, and then we'll make it as we go. Obviously, we do have our quick ship stuff. So those things we will make only a certain amount of, or like these savings challenges, they're on our quick ship. So I always know to keep those stocked in case an order comes in. But anyway, saying that all to say this is that I don't want to go ahead and make all this Cricut stuff that may take a while to sell, and it's just sitting there and I spent my time on it. Not that it probably won't sell, because it probably could, but it's just the fact that I'm spending my time on it now and I could be spending my time on something else. So I hope that all makes sense. So now that we know everything that we need to make and I've counted my inventory, I think I have a good idea as to how I want to attack this. And it's kind of taking me a second to kind of think about it, because there's so much that needs to be made, and I like to maximize every little step of the way and not be wasting time. So my thought is, follow me on this if you can, because it's hard to know what's in my brain. I was thinking we turn on the laminator while I'm printing out these savings challenges, just so I'm doing two things at once. I'll come over here and print as I'm like putting stuff in the laminator and as it's warming up or whatnot. And I'll work on the 3-piece savings challenges with that, because I have two printers. I have a printer underneath my desk here. It's a Canon laser printer, and that is what I use for my vellum paper. And then I have an Epson printer over here around the corner. That printer, I typically print at a high quality, and it takes a little bit longer to print each page. So yeah, I'm going to print from the Canon and the Epson. I'm going to be printing at the same time to both printers while I have the laminator heating up, and I'm already starting to laminate the sheets that I have printed. The Canon printer is super quick, so I know it's going to print super fast, and as those are coming off the printer, I can throw them in the laminator along with these guys here. Once I have everything kind of going from the Canon, the laser printer, once that's all kind of done, and I will then like shift over to cutting the envelopes because I have my cutter here and I want to be laminating and cutting at the same time. So hopefully that made sense. If not, I'm hoping I can actually visually show you as we are videoing it. So let's see if I can actually show you how I'm going to do this. It's just a way that I found to do multiple things at once and not waste any time, because time is so precious and I don't have a lot of it. So I need to make sure I'm maximizing every step of the way. So anyway, let me stop talking. Let's get into it. So as you can see, I have this printer over here, the Epson. This is starting to go, and it is printing out our little mini savings challenges. Not sure if you can hear that, but that's the other printer over across the way, our Canon printer, that is also printing. And don't judge me. I know that you can see there's a ton of stacks of different papers all over here. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, they tend to go over the place, and then I try to organize them the next day, but that obviously didn't happen today. We're all human. We all sometimes can make little messes. This is the real deal. This is how my paper can sometimes get a little bit messy. So I wanted to show you the speed and difference between both printers. Over here, you can see this printer is taking quite a bit of time, and I have it on the best quality setting. And then the Canon printer over here, the laser printer, boom, that's the first sheet. I think I printed 5 out of these freebie challenges, but it just goes so quick. But this ink here for this Canon is like, I think like $700, $800 to refill. And before I got the Epson inkjet printer, which you can see I just ordered ink here because the gray is going low. This ink was $100 to refill the entire thing, and it's lasted me, I think, 3 or 4 months. And this ink, when I had this printer just by itself, it was lasting me like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I was having to spend $700, $800 on the ink. This printer here has helped me so much save money. So if you are in the market to buy a new printer, I highly suggest this Inco tank. It was quite pricey. It was like $600 or $700. But it has been amazing for our small shop, and the quality is so good. And yeah, so anyway, I wanted to show you guys the difference in the speed, but also like this is what you'll see in my shop a lot. And over here, and then you'll also see the Epson going off at the same time. And I'm just sitting over here in the corner, printing away. It's kind of hard to capture that, but maybe I'll set up my camera like super far away, and you can just, I'll time lapse it so you can see how much printing just goes on in this little small studio. All right, guys, so we are done printing from the laser printer, at least as far as I know. That could change because I could have missed something along the journeys of printing, but I have a ton that is here. This is a very large stack, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the laminator turned on and heated up, which I probably should have already done, but I kind of was in the groove here. And I noticed something when I was going through some of my printed and laminated materials. I noticed I had already pre-printed and laminated a couple things from the Cricut app. So that'll be the next thing I need to do right now. The Epson printer, that is the inkjet printer, that takes longer. That one is currently working on the Palm Market savings challenges, which it has like the little cute fruit cutouts. Let me see if I have one around here. So that savings challenge features like little fruit cutouts like this. The envelope is printing out now, but I haven't printed out the little pieces that you just saw from the Cricut app. So there is a whole string of items that I need to print through the Cricut app. Right now I'm printing all the non-Cricut app items that need to be on the Epson inkjet printer. I don't like sending too much to the printer all at once. I only like to send maybe 2 or 3 jobs at once and then kind of give it a little bit of a break. I don't want to inundate it and make it go too crazy. Challenge here, if you're following along and you haven't gotten confused so far from my horrible explanation of how I'm doing this, the whole challenge here is keeping everything moving, keeping up with cutting the envelopes, keeping up with keeping the laminator fed with the challenges, and then also sending jobs to the printer to print. So I have 3 different things going on right now. I'll be cutting envelopes, I'll be laminating challenge trackers, and I'll be sending jobs to the printer. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and probably set you guys back so I can get started on this. We're gonna get the laminator heated up and we're gonna go to town. That's what it is, we're going to town. Okay, as I'm doing this, I just wanted to pause here. I have the printer going off with the banners for the Savings Challenge freebies. So these banners right now are printing. I've sent 5 over there to print. Once those are done, I'm going to start printing the card backings for the paper clips. So those will be next. I have those already lined up on my computer to print once those banners are done. So I just wanted to make sure you know that I've been doing okay with keeping that Epson going. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to laminating. So I have all the Savings Challenge trackers and their laminating sheets here, and I've already begun to laminate quite a few. I think I have like 7 done already. I get a lot of questions about what I'm using to put inside the laminator, and this is a carrier, if you're wondering. Basically, it is a thicker piece of paper, and as you can see, I use these till they are like almost completely out of commission. This one is literally probably has a couple more minutes left in its lifetime. But basically I put the laminating sheets through in the carrier and then through the laminator. And the reason being is because it helps protect the glue from seeping out onto my rollers. I know that this laminator in particular, I don't believe you have to have a carrier, but I have just been doing it since I got it. Since it's a more expensive laminator, I want to make sure that I can use it for as long as possible and not have to maintenance the rollers as much. So that is why I like using a carrier. I do get these on Amazon in large packs, so I have a couple more underneath on top of my Canon printer. So whenever I end up breaking this one all the way in half, I'm going to grab a new one. Now that these savings challenges are already put inside their laminate sheets, I'm just going to feed this. And as I'm feeding it, I'm going to now start cutting all of the envelopes. The Epson printer has just finished a job, so I need to send it the next job. And the next job that I need to send it is going to be those paperclip backings, because I just finished printing off the banners for the freebies. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna start cutting the envelopes and get all this done. Okay, I thought I'd quickly show you guys my setup because you're probably like wondering, what is she doing? So over here is the Savings Challenge trackers that are in the laminate ready to be laminated. Behind it is the laminated Savings Challenge trackers, so the finished product from that. Then over here I have the envelopes that are printed and ready to be cut, and I have matte laminate over to the right that I'm going to be pairing up with each sheet of envelopes and cutting alongside of it so I can have a backing for each of the envelopes. And as I'm done cutting each envelope, I'm probably going to just stack them on top of my planner over here because there's not a whole lot of space. So as I have each of the envelopes ready, they'll go over here. That's kind of the setup. That is what we're working with now. So I just wanted to show you how I'm kind of utilizing all my surfaces. One thing I've noticed as I started cutting these envelopes is that my printer needs to be clean. My laser printer, you can see here, hopefully it'll focus, but if you see these like little black specks right in the middle of the envelope, it's doing that on like, I don't know, it's done on like 4 envelopes so far. So I am still cutting them so I can have the backing of the laminate done, and then I will save these backings and throw the tops away because obviously, you know, it has the little black specks on it and I don't want that in my finished product. But I will save the backings from those and set them off to the side just so I have some extras lying around. I may go back and reprint all those, or I may just like make what I already have. So anyway, I thought I'd just stop and tell you guys that this type of stuff happens in our, we just had a sale. Oh, that's so exciting. I love the Shopify counter. It's so cool to see that move. So thank you, whoever you are that just placed an order. Oh, let me check my phone and I can say it out loud. Grace, thank you so much, Grace. I really appreciate your order. Thank you so much for your order. I just wanted to stop and share with you guys that these little things happen all the time in my small business where I have to troubleshoot technology or I have to stop and clean my printer, but I've already printed out so much stuff and now I'm having to deal with black little ink spots on several of my challenges. Not everything goes perfectly to plan. It's not just one glamorous thing and everything's so beautiful and I'm in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory whipping up all these things. There are so many things that come up that cause me so much frustration, and luckily I am further along in this journey where I'm not encountering too many new things. Like this has happened to me before and I should have known better. I should have printed or should have ran a cleaning cycle. A lot of the things that pop up now, I can kind of brace myself for because I already know the solution. But in the beginning, I didn't know the solution. No, I didn't have the solution and it would cause me so much frustration, literally bring me to tears, especially when it comes to technology. I am not the best with technology. And it would literally bring me to tears. So I would have to like call Brent and tell him, I need your help. Can you come help me? And he would come and help me. And, you know, sometimes he just like whipped it up and did it right away. But I don't want to be that type of person where I don't know how to do things. I don't know how to like find the solution myself. I want to do it myself. Not that I don't appreciate Brent's help because he's gotten me through so many situations where I was literally in tears about a printer not connecting to our network or whatever. And he's helped me out so much, but it's more the fact that like, I don't want to have to rely on somebody else. I want to be able to do it myself, and have the knowledge and be able to push through the barrier of not being great with technology or not understanding things. And I have to say that one thing that's really helped me is watching YouTube videos on how to resolve problems. Specifically right now, my biggest challenge is editing these videos. That is a new thing to me. Like doing this and having the printer do ink splotches, that is something I've dealt with before. But editing in new editing software and trying to upload it and export it and then get it onto YouTube. That's all new to me. And I've had so many encounters where literally like the SD files are not linking to the Final Cut Pro files and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I go to YouTube and I find somebody on YouTube that can give me a quick tutorial on how to do it. And that's been so helpful. And then I also love using AI. I love using AI to help me with those problems and just ask like, hey, this is happening. How can I resolve this? And then it'll kind of walk me through the steps. I find between those two things, I have been filled so empowered to do things on my own. And I can't believe the power of AI and how much it's impacted me being able to do things like quickly with troubleshooting like software and stuff. And I'm so curious to see where this goes in like the world, because like now I'm so reliant on it. Like, I don't know what it was like to have it before almost, you know, it's kind of crazy. Like even before the internet, if you think about the internet, like what did we do before? We went to the dictionary. My mom would say, oh, you want to know what that word means? Go grab the encyclopedia and figure out what it means. Go to the right, you know, letter in the alphabet. And that's what we had to do. And then I'm aging myself right now saying that, but now we just go to the internet and we ask it a question. Now we just go to AI and ask it a question. It's so crazy to me, but it has been so helpful for my business. So if you're another small business owner and you're not already using AI to help you with some of the stuff that you might be weaker on, like for me, that's technology, then I'd highly suggest going to YouTube or ask AI a question, go to Google, obviously, and all those things. But it's definitely been so nice to challenge myself to do things on my own and empower myself that I can do it. I just need a couple friends along the way to help me get there. I'm starting to get hungry. I am so ready for some lunch. Probably when I pick you guys back up, I'm probably gonna have the envelopes printed. I'll have probably majority of this laminated and maybe even the envelopes laminated, and we'll be ready to cut everything. That's kind of when I think I'll pick you guys back up, is when we're ready to use the Cricut and we're ready to cut everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into Cricut Design Space. One thing I forgot to mention, and hopefully you can see it on the screen, the Epson printer has this little box that pops up to show you your ink levels. And you can literally click buy Epson ink right here. Let me zoom in for y'all. You can literally click buy Epson ink right here. And that's literally what I did. This is my first time buying ink since I bought this printer, because it already came with a bunch of ink. And you can see the gray is low, the black is kind of low, like things are starting to get low. So I went ahead and clicked on this, and then it took me to a different screen, and I bought all the different inks, and it was like $112 for all this ink. And it lasts me like 4 or 5 months. Whereas the Canon printer was like $600-700. I just can't believe it took me so long to switch over. But we're gonna exit out of all this and we're gonna pick up Cricut Design Space. I don't have my Cricut, as you can see, currently hooked up. All right, so here are all my projects, and I know I need to print these two up here on the top left. And then I also need to print the pocket pieces as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the fruit market. I'm actually going to customize it. And I'm going to do 2 of everything. And let's see how many pages that makes me. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and send these to print. While I'm printing all of this here, I'm going to also be over here on this side of the desk, and I'm going to be cutting the envelopes still and sending everything through the laminator. So just keep working that flow. But now I have Cricut Design Space pulled up versus Canva, and I'm printing from here now and sending it all to the Epson inkjet. So anyway, thought I'd show you guys. We're on to the next step with that. And I will just print everything that I need out of Cricut at one time. This way I can send it all through the laminator at one time, and I can put all my Cricut stuff in a pile. Then I can pull the Cricut out, and then I can just cut, and keep moving the Cricut along. That seems to be what works for me. At that time, when I have the Cricut pulled up, I can be assembling freebies or doing something else as it's cutting something. I haven't gotten that far, but we'll get there here in just a little bit and I'll show you guys along the way. But I'm gonna turn the camera off and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and then I'll pick you guys back up when we're ready to do our first cuts. So I will see you guys in a little bit. I'm back and we actually took a little bit of a lunch and I didn't get all the laminating done. So I want to get all these envelopes laminated. I have, let me show you exactly what I have going on over here. I'm gonna pick the camera up. Okay, so right here I have all of the Cricut laminated sheets here that all need to be cut. And then over here I have all the laminated envelopes. I have the stack of envelopes that need to be laminated. And then I have just the paperclip backings and then the freebies and different savings challenge trackers that need to be cut here. And it is quite a large stack. Same thing over here for the Cricut stuff. We have a lot to do. So, and a lot of envelopes. So we're definitely gonna be working on this for quite a while. Go ahead and sort out these paperclip backing cards. And I'm gonna put these in a separate pile to have Brent help me and cut these up for me when he gets done doing his yard work, because he's outside right now. So I'm gonna have him help me with that. And then I'm going to separate everything else out and cut it myself. These are all the paperclip backings and they are separated out for Brent. I'm gonna go ahead and set these on the other table. We aren't in like immediate need of these right now. I still have quite a bit of each size, but I will be needing these to fulfill more orders coming up. So it's not essential that he does them today, but if he can help me do it between today and tomorrow, that would be fantastic. What do you got there, Koko? Huh? Did Daddy give you a bone? He is spoiling you rotten. Is that yummy, baby? Do you like your treat? Why don't you just eat your treat? Why are you licking it so bad? Okay. Whatever makes you happy, baby. So as you can see, every little step matters, and saving time, like as I've been saying through this whole vlog, is so important when you're a small business owner. I am trying to use skills that I learned when I was in the service industry. I bartended and waited tables like basically, well, not my whole life, but since I was a kid, I've been working in my parents' restaurants, whether it was bussing tables, washing dishes, hosting, and then obviously waiting tables later on. I did every single job you can think of, even cooking the line. And one thing that I learned through that work with my parents' restaurant and also bartending is just that you need to save your steps. It's so important to save steps. Like, you don't have to walk back in the kitchen to refill up somebody's iced tea and then come back out and deliver that iced tea to see the person at the same table or the table next to them needs a refill on Diet Coke. Like, you want to try to get everything all at once. And so that was a skill I learned very early on as a young adult, was scan the room, see who's missing what, see who has an empty plate. You don't want to walk back to the kitchen empty-handed. Never walk back to the kitchen empty-handed. And so I would pre-bus my tables, walk back on my way back out, bring more things that I needed. And I feel like I'm using that concept here in just a different way. I don't want to just be sitting here waiting for every envelope to laminate. That would be so silly, just to sit here and wait for every envelope to laminate. I guess My advice, if you're a small business owner and you're not already doing this, is try to fill those little spaces of time, because if you're like me and you're working a full-time job and you're trying to make something of yourself with your small business and keep that rolling and build your business, then you need to save as much time as possible. Hopefully this save your steps method could be helpful. And I think that's what I'm trying to show you guys in this vlog today, is how I'm maximizing every little step. And I do this every single day. I could obviously be so much better, because there's sometimes, like right now I'm talking to you and there's an envelope sitting on the back of the laminator that I need to pull out and put a new one in. So yeah, I'm gonna finish cutting all of these freebies, because I have the little freebie things. That's what I'm cutting right now. I've already gotten quite a good stack of those going. I'm probably gonna show up the camera for a little bit and not really time lapse too much, just because I don't want this video to be like extremely long and be boring, because it's the same stuff over and over again. But I will pick you guys back up as I go through the process. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys when we probably pull the Cricut out then. Okay, see you soon. So I have gotten this many savings challenges done. Look at all of this. It is so exciting to see all of the savings challenge trackers almost be done. Like I said, I only have this small stack here. We have all of our mini monies done here as well. And we have quite a big stack of these as well. So very excited to have that done. So the only thing left for these ones is to obviously do a hole punch along the side here, and then along the side on the mini monies as well. So we'll do a hole punch here and a hole punch here, but we'll wait and do that a little bit later when we're done with all the cutting. We'll get all the cutting done first. So Brent is actually still outside. He just came in for a water break and he went back out, and now he's doing the front yard. So he is outside. You might hear the blower. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the laminator off, and we are going to set up the desk so we can now have the Cricut out and set up the cutter so it's all fitting hopefully in the same space, and we can continue the motion of doing multiple things at one time. Okay, I'm so happy that the Cricut is fitting on here with my cutter over here. So I'll be able to continue cutting these. So over here on this table, I put the paperclip backing cards here. And then I also put the Cricut laminated items and then the banners for the freebies. So I'm going to just set these over here for Brent. When he's done doing yard work, he can hopefully help me cut those. And look at little baby Koko. Are you sleepy, Koko? You little sleepy girl? Yes, she is. And then I'm gonna quickly off camera just sort these out, because when I go to cut this item, I have like several of these, which you can see they're all kind of like mixed in. I want them to be together. So when I'm in Cricut design space, I'm only like cutting this one after another after another. So I'm gonna quickly sort these by design, and then we're gonna start working on our first Cricut job. Quick confession, I actually just stopped this camera so I could film a reel real quick just about what we're doing right now. I thought that would be a great opportunity to get some short form content in. So I just filmed that, and while I was filming it, was actually cutting and showing everything. So I am all done cutting up the trackers, and I got the first Petals and Paradise Savings Challenge completed from the Cricut. So that is all done, which at least this is one. I think I have 4 or 5 that I need to make. You have this huge stack of Cricut, and I've put them in order, but these are all Cricut items that need to be made. So I don't know if I will like get to the packaging process with you guys on this video, but we'll see. I'm gonna go a little bit further into the rest of the cutting and then we'll see how it goes. I do want to stop and take a break for the gym later today, and then you know, it'll start getting late and I really will probably need to focus. So that might be why I shut the camera off. Let's go ahead and keep the ball rolling. I'm gonna move these out of the way because they're in my way. So good. My favorite part of using a Cricut is taking off the project from the sticky mat. I absolutely love that. Let's do it together. Before we sign out of the vlog, because as I said, I'm probably not going to package all these items. It's going to take us all day to do the rest of this project. But we haven't gone over anything from the paperclip station, and that's because Brent has been outside doing yard work, and Brent, my husband, is the head of the paperclip department. He makes all of our paper clips, and if you've not seen them before, let me show you an example. He makes hand-wired paper clips with little beads and charms and all sorts of things on top of the paper clip. One thing that Brent does that is consistent and repetitive is he constantly makes our freebie paper clips. Every time you order from us, you get a freebie pack, and our freebie packs look like this. I showed you these earlier, but you'll see there's a little paper clip that gets included. It's always like a little mini, and Brent will make a bunch of those for me. As you can see, I always like to keep them in like some little container, and right now I have them in this cute little felt bowl that I got from a local boutique. Yeah, so he'll have to make those like same thing over and over and over and over again. And what he does to maybe not, I guess, be efficient, but also to like help save material. When he's making like a normal paper clip, he has to pull this wire out, right? He has to pull this wire off the spool. He has to cut it, and then he puts it all together. So he has been doing this for so long that he kind of has an idea of how much he should pull off, right? He's like, okay, I need 5 inches or however 10 inches for each, you know, of this specific item. Well, he will pull off maybe just a tad bit more in case he got his measurements off, right? Because he doesn't really measure it. It's all by eye. So he'll pull out just a tad bit more. And every single little bit that he cuts off before he finishes like the last edge over here, he is going to cut off the excess. Well, that excess that he cuts off, he saves. He saves those, and that excess that he has goes into the freebie paper clips. That's what he uses. So he holds on to those, and let me show you how he puts it together. So he saves them, and he puts like, look, he like even made them into like a little bundle. Can you guys see that? He saves the wire, all that excess wire, and he puts it into this little bundle. And then this is what he will set to the side when it's time to make more freebie paper clips. So that's really awesome because now he already has the wire. He doesn't have to worry about cutting a bunch of this off. He's already doing that on a regular basis when he's making orders. So I love that he does this. I thought that was so nifty when I was asking him. I knew he did it, but I didn't realize like how methodical he was behind the whole process. The next thing that Brent does to stay, I guess, more efficient and use and manage his time better is he collects all the beads throughout. Obviously, you can see we have some stored up there. We have some in our drawers over here, but he will look at several orders ahead. But he will basically put all those beads into one of these little felt bowls. And these things are so nifty. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before, but they're so cute. I love them so much. And they've been so actually useful in here to throw odds and ends in and different things. But he will put all the beads that he needs for several orders into one of these bowls. Night when he comes up to work, he already has his beads set out for him, and he can go ahead and jump in and get started and have like a place to start. And then tonight when he gets done, he's going to go ahead and put the beads in for tomorrow that he wants to get accomplished inside the felt bowl. And so that really helps him kind of stay organized and then kind of have like a lifting point for the next day. So yeah, that is a couple of little tidbits from the paperclip department, where my husband Brent, he is the head and chair of the paper clips. That is how Brent and I try our best to stay efficient and work as quickly as possible, because as you know, it's just the two of us and we're both working full time. If you're new here, I know I say that on a lot of my vlogs, but I know we have some new subscribers here and I want to make sure you guys know who we are and what we're about. And so we don't really have anybody else coming in to help. My sister, Frida, actually, you might have seen her on a previous vlog where she helped us. She actually called me the other day, and this is the sweetest thing ever. She called me and she was like, "Hey, Tori." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she said, "You know, I saw one of your TikToks and I just really miss working at Crafted by Koko. Can I come and help soon?" And I haven't really had her coming here to help because it is the summer season in Myrtle Beach and she's working at my mom's restaurant right now. I know that she's making good money on tips and I'm not going to be able to pay her the same as she would be making in Myrtle Beach waiting table. It was just the sweetest thing. Literally brought me to tears because it was the sweetest thing ever. And I love when she comes to visit. So we planned out a time for her to come in August because we are going to be doing another launch in July, which I'm so excited for, towards the end of July. And this is something we haven't ever done before. This new, it's a launch shop update, but it is a whole new category stuff we haven't really done before. So I'm excited to kind of like, maybe we've done it before, but I'm excited to expand on it. Let's just say that. And so that will be coming at the end of July. And then we have our doggy bag coming towards the end of August. And so then it's just I feel like it's just gonna start to gear up, and I can already feel myself getting busy thinking ahead of, okay, I need to prep this for the Advent box, for the doggy bag, for all these things. So obviously I said, yes, Frida, please come. I could always use your help. And so she's going to come in August at some point during the middle of the week, which will be great because she'll come in on her days off from work. So she's not losing any money working at the pancake house. And then she can help me on her days off. And we can also spend time together because we do have so much fun hanging out together and working. And she is so good. I give her so many of the cutting things and tasks to do. And it's just so helpful for her to help me with those things, especially if it's during the week when I'm working my full-time job, because then I can just have her doing that while I'm working my job. And then at 5 o'clock, we normally go to the gym together and all this stuff. But anyway, I'm so excited for her to come in August. And then we're going to map out time for her to come, I believe, September, October, November, and December. And I told her I would love for her to come twice a month if she can. But there might be some months where maybe we might need her every week. I don't know. Like, I haven't been able to anticipate like how many orders, how many items. It's been so weird for me and not being able to anticipate because this is our second year in Shopify. I don't have any kind of historical numbers to go off of except for 1 year before, which is really not like, you can't really forecast or see a pattern or whatever. It's been a little bit hard to know what to expect. And so I don't really know what to expect with the Christmas season this year. And so, but I am really excited about it because I love what we're going to be doing with the Advent box. And I love the next doggy bag. And I'm just so excited to bring these new items to you guys. And I want to tell you guys about it right now. But obviously I can't because I don't have the full idea baked out yet until I get those products in my hand. And then once I do, and I have everything sorted out, I'm going to be showing you guys sneak peeks. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe And if you're not following me on my other social media, I have them all linked down below. I typically put a lot of my like real-time updates on my Instagram stories and also a lot on my YouTube story. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you guys can get all the updates on when things are coming to the shop or what we're doing over here in our small little world here at Crafted by Koko. Thank you guys so incredibly much for being here. I know this wasn't a full vlog. We didn't go through the whole packaging process of all the items we made, but I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what we do here. I hope you guys were able to learn something new, and if you didn't, hopefully it was at least entertaining. And if you have any tips or tricks for me when you're watching these videos, please put them down in the comments. I love sharing with other small handmade businesses. I love YouTube for that reason, because we can share with each other and help each other out. If you have any questions, comments, tips, anything, put them down in the comments below, and I'd love to chat with you guys there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I push back the serious